Good afternoon, everyone. Got a few more Aggies here today. Okay, that's good. The word is getting out. North Carolina A&T is coming off of a 30-16 loss to rival North Carolina Central on Saturday. This week, North Carolina A&T will go to Rhodes Stadium for its first ever CAA game. It'll be against the Elon Phoenix, starting at 6 p.m. If you can't make it, you can watch the game on live on Flow Football. With us here, of course, we have our head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown. Our special guests are running back Kenji Christian and our linebacker Avion Cole. We'll hear from them after we hear from Coach. But without further ado, our head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown.
It's a great day in Aggieland. Before we talk about football, those of us my age and older recognize what today is, one of the saddest days in our country's history. I clearly remember had just dropped my kids off at school, and I saw what was an unusually large amount of police just all over the highways and the roads, and got back home and saw what happened, and actually lost neighbors in the Twin Towers collapse. So just a brief moment of silence for those victims. Okay, so to recap last Saturday's game, very, very disappointing for the coaches, for our players, and I'm certain for our football and university alums. It was, we understood the importance and the value of that game to the university community and to our program. We want to beat Central every single time we line up against them, every single time. And we knew that was a very, very good team, top 20 team in the nation, last year's HBCU national champions, one of the best quarterbacks in FCS football. So we knew it was going to be challenging. But with that said, we did not execute the way we planned. Defensively, we didn't do what we needed to do to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Offensively, we did not get our passing game going like we planned to. And we know that there's a lot of room for improvement in all three phases. Probably the more disappointing part was the penalties that we had defensively. 3 personal foul penalties. We do not play that way. We do not play that way. We're not going to beat ourselves. With that being said, everything that we've said we want to be is still in front of us. We want to compete for championships. We want to make sure that our players are graduating and our focus remains steadfast in that happening. With this weekend's game coming up, the goal of being able to compete for championships begins. And so we're very, very excited about our CAA opener at Elon this week. So with that, any questions?
Obviously, first 2 games, passing attack is not materialized, and you have 67 yards passing in 2 games. I guess the short question is, how do you fix that?
Yeah, you know, there's some things that we have to do schematically to get the ball into our playmakers' hands. We've talked about it. We met on it again this morning. We met on it yesterday. We have to do those things. And then quite honestly, part of it is the quarterback's decision-making also to get the ball out of their hands on timing. So when we talked to the team yesterday, it is usually the accumulation of small mistakes that cause you to lose games. A player not running the route at the right depth, quarterback not being on the same page as the receivers, okay? The defensive end not containing the quarterback like he's supposed to. A running back not taking the proper footwork steps on an inside power running play. It's always the accumulation of small things that end up, when you look back on it, here's really what happened and why we lost the game. They're a good team. We'll take nothing from them. but we made way too many mistakes. And if you want to compete for championships, regardless of the age of your players, you got to find a way to eliminate the mistakes.
Talk about the positive side of the offense. So you guys got not one, but two guys that you're confident that can run the ball really well so far. Is that your identity? If people want to ask, what's your identity? Is that it? You're confident you can run the ball?
We're very, very confident. We think we have two really, really good backs in Kenji and Wes, and we got some other guys that really haven't played much yet that we believe will be able to go in and give us some depth at the position also. We want to be able to run the football, control the line of scrimmage, but we also want to be efficient with our passing game. Efficiency, getting the ball out. And then if people are crowding the line of scrimmage, loading the box to stop the running game, have the plan in place to be able to throw the ball deep and take shots.
To that point, it seemed that at some point in the second half, towards the game, the quarterback just didn't have the confidence to take those chances. It's the second level of defense.
Yeah.
As a coach, how do you get a quarterback to reinstate that confidence?
Yeah, part of it is the way we practice and prepare, trying to build confidence in their knowledge of where to go with the ball. And part of it is just experience. I think, if you look at the number of games that our guys have played, college football games, and the number of games that Davius Richard has played in, it is night and day. So part of it is us as coaches making sure we're putting the pieces in the right place. And then part of it is just the experience of the players, seeing it in real time, game speed.
Coach, you played Zach Yeager throughout the entirety of the game when replacing Rick Hanover. Do you plan on playing him in next game against Elon?
Well, we are still in the process of who's going to start based on how we perform in practice this week. Every week we evaluate every player, every play, every day, and we look at who's going to give us the best chance to win that particular game. So we'll know by Thursday or so who's going to be the starter, whether we're going to play two quarterbacks or what. So, it's all about that week of preparation to give us the best chance to win.
Oh, this media. Thank you.
Coach, in terms of the game against Elon this week, what do you think will be the biggest key factors in terms of deciding the outcome?
Yeah, I think explosive plays, us not giving them up defensively, and then us being able to create some offensively. When I looked at their team, we're basically the same. They're 0-2, searching for their first win. We're 0-2, searching for our first win. They have new quarterbacks. We essentially have new quarterbacks. They lost some talented receivers. We lost some talented receivers. So there are a lot of parallels there.
I know in a tight game against Gardner-Webb, sometimes you really can see a team's true colors when they're up against it, when they're playing a tough game like that. Were there any particular plays on tape or anything that you saw that maybe might give you maybe a stronger indication of what Elon is this week?
Yeah, I think, they are who they are. There's some very specific personnel grouping tendencies and formations and plays that they like to go to. And based on what I saw from the last couple of games, they really haven't changed a whole lot from where they were last season. Coach Trisciani does a great job. They're very well coached. They are disciplined. The quarterback last week came in and really sparked them. I think they had 14 fourth quarter points and really gave themselves a chance to win it there near the end. So we know it's going to be a challenging game.
Coach, what things do you rely on at this stage of the season? You're 0-2. You haven't really been able to settle on a quarterback to get you where you want to be, and your conference schedule is now at hand. It's not a panic time, but I'm sure you want to turn the corner on this. What are you relying on to get you there?
Sure. So we always go back to our core fundamentals. The game boils down to, offensively blocking, being able to knock people off the ball, being able to, from a running back, receiver standpoint, quarterback standpoint, ball security, not turning the ball over, defensively, stopping the run game, beating blocks, becoming great tacklers, and not letting them throw the ball over our heads. And so, fundamentally, if we stay focused on those things, I believe we'll start to see our football program turn in the right direction.
A popular phrase in sports these days is trust the process, and it's, first-year head coach and stuff. Frank Reich's going through that with the Panthers. How do you balance trust the process with fans alone that want to win now, right this second?
Yeah, we all have a sense of urgency to win, but there's some realities to building this thing for sustainability. And I've seen it over and over where if you stay process oriented, the results come. You may not like what's happening very early on in the process, but if you stay focused on the process, eliminating mental mistakes, penalties, not beating yourselves, focused on beating blocks, tackling, not turning the ball over, those things usually lead to victories down the road.
Coach, you had a unique experience of being on the other side of game plan against Elon last couple of years as defensive coordinator. And even your offensive coordinator, Chris Young, was on their staff last year. How much does that familiarity help you?
Well, I'm sure they'll probably have some game plan wrinkles, some things that they may have done previously, change up the plays formationally, but it helps. Coordinators have their identity. Here's who we are. And I don't think they have changed much from who they are. They want to run the football. Okay. They'll get in condensed sets and take deep vertical shots, quick, efficient passing game on schedule. So those are formulas for being successful. And I don't think they'll deviate much from who they are.
It's sort of a sense of excitement to be able, I guess, first conference game and also first game against, a new triad rival.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. As I said earlier, I think there's a lot of similarities in our team, and you never really know. You're playing an FBS team, you're playing your arch rival that happens to be one of the better teams in FCS football, and now you get to go into conference play and really see where we are as a team, provided that we improve on those key areas that we talked about earlier.
Is there anyone at Elon that gives you any pause, or somebody you have to really focus on to keep them in check to enhance your chances to win?
Yeah, I think they have one of the better backs in the conference in Jalen Hampton. We saw him last year. He's a 1,000-yard rusher, great vision, really good speed, great contact balance. And, so they're going to run him. They have a kid who's developing, emerging right here from Dudley High School. You look at the end of their game last week against Gardner-Webb, they started targeting this kid, big, tall tight end. So they have talent. Every team in the conference has talented players. It's going to be about us executing our assignments on each and every play.
Coach, when you self-evaluate, what were your feedback, your takeaways from the clock management aspect? Because it seemed like last week, the second half, there was a chance to kind of go up-tempo, hurry up, and we didn't really see that.
Yeah, we felt early in the fourth quarter, there's plenty of time. We're only down by 2 scores. There's no reason to go hurry up tempo. You just need to be able to put together a consistent drive. And then later, about midway through the fourth quarter, I'm talking to the guys, hey, now we got to have a greater sense of urgency because now we're actually competing against the clock. We only have a limited amount of time to score, stop them, and get the ball back and score again. So those are things, we work on weekly, and we have to do a better job going forward of understanding, if you got 8 minutes left, you can't sit back and walk up to the line of scrimmage and, those things. We got to pick up the tempo.
You want to give a quick status report on a couple of receivers, Jameson Warren and Jakari Caldwell?
Yeah, we're expecting to have both back this week.
Offensive lineman Cody Sharp.
Yeah, we are awaiting results from a doctor's visit, so still kind of up in the air whether he'll be available or not.
Any updates on Brick Handler?
I'm sorry?
Any updates on that Elon Brick Handler?
He's healthy. Yeah.
Coach is kind of out left field, but they blocked the extra point. From your vantage point, was that guy offsides?
From my vantage point, he was, but he did a great job of timing the snap. And so we talked to our snapper about the snapper and the holder about the snap hold mechanics so people can't get a jump on the snap. But I thought he was offsides.
Is that a play that you can challenge or you can ask for a review on?
Not at this point, but, at that point, no.
And also, there was a couple reviews for targeting. Is that something that the CAA is kind of enforcing this year?
It is, absolutely. When they called it on us, I immediately went to the officials and said, hey, please review this because we didn't see it. And then when it happened on their guy also, I think they're making a tremendous emphasis on protecting the players, but also understanding, that what appears to be a targeting is not, in fact, a targeting by definition of the rule.
And this last thing, so when it comes to those, like coach mechanics, if you ask for a review, do you usually get it on any type of play?
Sometimes they're already being initiated by the replay official upstairs. So, sometimes you're asking and the side judge will say, hey, they're already looking at it. They've already looked at it. Play is confirmed.
Coach, I think that there were situations where, the team, third and short, had a couple big runs to convert first downs. Oftentimes got in third and long situations. What is the strategy? What is the mindset in terms of preventing those third and long situations?
Yeah, we talk all the time about staying on schedule. And staying on schedule means, you're 3rd and 3, not 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. 3rd and 3 is much easier first down to make than 3rd and 10. So part of staying on schedule is being diverse in your play calling on first and second down, being able to mix your dominant downhill run game with quick, efficient passing so that you're not behind the chains on third down.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you all.
Before we bring our players up, just a few reminders that this period here is for media only, but we want you to feel free to mingle with Coach before the radio show and certainly after the radio show. Also, a reminder here that we will not have a press conference next week because it's an off week for us, but we are here for the rest of the season except for 2 dates, October 9th and November 6th. We will be in Moore Gym. Otherwise, we'll be here in room 385. First player we're going to bring up is our running back, Kenji Christian, leads us in rushing this season. Had a nice couple of runs against North Carolina Central on Saturday. So we're going to bring Kenji up as soon as he gets mic'd. All right, the floor is open for questions.
Is there a sense of calm with this team? Are you at the point that you can say, okay, we can get through this?
Yeah.
Or people sort of might say antsy?
I mean, I feel like, I'm in a sense of calm. Like, I feel like we could do, like, with the goal that we want just to win the game.
What was it like hearing the crowd, get hyped when you had your long run there first half?
I mean, yeah, it give me hype. Like, it give me like wanting to go more.
And your first home game?
My first home game, it was a playing back in my city, so it's like it was good for me.
Have you had a chance to look at Elon's defense yet? Have you all looked at film, and what can you say about what you saw?
I mean, we haven't studied it yet. We're gonna study it today. Like, for me, just looking over it myself.
Give us a sense of being a running back. What's it like to wake up the next day? Kind of run through like what you're feeling like, and as the days go by, you're feeling good by Saturday, I assume again. But that waking up Sunday morning after a college football game for a running back.
I mean, just me being a running back, like I know what I want, like I know what I prepared for. So it's like me getting up the next day is pretty good feeling.
A little bit of a mixed bag in the running game. Some big runs, some periods where Central had some success. Was there anything you noticed in the offensive line that was maybe different on the big runs, particularly that 97-yard drive versus other times during the game?
I mean, they put us in pretty good position to keep running the ball. Like, I just gotta, like what Coach said, we gotta slow down our footwork just to open up more plays, there's opportunities to score more.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Now we're going to bring up Avion Cole. He's our linebacker, outstanding tackler for us this season. Avion Cole. Floor's open for questions.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
I ask you the same question I started with Kenji. The mood of the team, are you feeling like you can get past this sort of 0-2 hurdle and be successful? Is there any panic? Is there any concern?
Nah, there's no panic. We don't want to dwell on a loss. We on it this week against Elon.
Year 2 for you, Marion.
Yeah.
How much more settled are you into the offense, I would say, this season versus where you were, the defense this season versus where you were last season?
I'm a little more comfortable, you know. We got a new defensive scheme. I'm loving it. I'm at Joker now. I'm not a backer. I'm at Joker. They put us in the right position to go out there and make plays.
You say you're a joker?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
It's like a nickelback, a hybrid. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Does that come from Coach Brown as he came with that term, or was that your defensive coordinator?
DC.
How do you deal with the noise around campus and from other people to still lock in on the season and continue to go on the season?
We don't worry about the outside noise. We focus on the team. Because at the end of the day, all we have is each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
In terms of Elon this week, I mean, just your initial impressions, what you've heard and maybe what you've seen on tape, what do you think will be the biggest key factors in terms of stopping their offense and, having a successful game against them?
On the defensive side, we got to be dominant in the red zone. That's something IDC talk about a lot. That's how you win games. And Brown, we got to stop the run and then all their explosive plays.
When you guys pretty close, and what can you do to pick each other up when you're finally in this situation?
We might have a talk with each other, here and there. It's not really major for real.
Marion, by this point in the season last year, you already had a couple of interceptions. What you got to do to get that first pick?
I'm not really worried about that for real. I got to stay within the scheme.
How tough was it to tackle the quarterback?
It wasn't tough at all.
It wasn't tough at all?
Nah.
In terms of Elon's scheme, you mentioned explosive plays. Are there particular keys that you were looking for this week? Things to look out for, tendencies. Hey, if we see this, it could be this kind of thing.
I'll say their personnel. I'll say for sure. Yeah.
What do you guys got to do to make it 1-0 with the conference, get off to a good start in conference play?
We got to come out and be dominant.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All righty, we're going to prepare for our radio show. In the meantime, we've got some lunch for you, so please enjoy, mingle, and we'll get started with the radio show.